Now, to truly understand SSL, there's some more information that we need to go through. And we'll be doing that in the next few videos. So let's start with this. Now, there's one thing I want to inform you about is that it's quite irritating that on the rest of the internet, SSL and TLS, SSL/TLS is mentioned. They're treating SSL and TLS as the same thing, but actually SSL and TLS are different things. And in the upcoming videos, we'll be understanding their handshakes. So remember how TCP had a handshake, right? A complete SYN/SYN-ACK handshake. But the handshakes for SSL and TLS, they differ, and that's what makes it more secure. Now, what's important to remember is that SSL is actually deprecated, and TLS is the one that's used. But for system designers like us, it's great to understand why some technology gets deprecated, why SSL is deprecated, right? And why new technology is built. So it's great to understand both. So it's great to understand SSL like handshakes and TLS handshakes to understand what's the difference between them. Because essentially, TLS is actually built up on SSL. So we had multiple SSL versions, and that's when TLS came out after that. So they're very related. So your understanding of SSL, it's not like you're wasting time. You'll be saving time to understand TLS much better. All right, so now what I'm trying to say is that SSL is actually deprecated. Internet has shifted to TLS. So even if a website now says SSL, it's basically TLS behind the scenes. So you have to remember that. Now, if you try to hard initiate an SSL connection between a client and a server, modern browsers will actually block it because the world has moved to TLS. I want to take a quick break to tell you guys about my cohort, which is called Algoroq. Now, it's a 3-month, highly focused cohort on system design. Now, the idea is that in the next few years, human engineers won't be writing a lot of code. Now, if you've used something like GPT-5 Codex or Claude CLI or Cursor, you know that AI can write a lot of the code for us. And in the near future, human engineers like us will be more responsible for architecting systems and system design rather than the implementation of the code itself. And this is why this 3-month self-paced cohort focuses on ultra-modern system design problems like building AI agentic platforms, building platforms that serve LLM models, building tools like Cursor, building decentralized messaging applications, distributed loggers, distributed file systems, and many more such difficult system design problems. It's meant for senior engineers wanting to move into leadership positions. So if you're someone who wants to go to the next level in their career, this is the only cohort that does that. There's no other cohort that focuses only on senior engineers. You will be learning as part of a group, and most of the people in your group will have more than 7 years of work experience in engineering. So check out the Algoroq website that's in the description of this video. And all you need to do is fill up a form. We'll get in touch with you. We'll see if you're a good fit for the cohort, and then we can take things forward. Now let's get back to the video. So we had SSL, SSL 2.0, SSL 3.0, and now we have TLS 1.2 and 1.3. We've shifted to TLS. So in this video right now, we look at one reason why this has happened, and then we'll look at more reasons in the upcoming videos of why the shift from SSL to TLS. Now, one reason is that even as SSL got secure in subsequent updates, that means from SSL to 2.0 to 3.0, it got more and more secure. There was still version negotiation allowed. So if this is a client and this is a server, the client could ask the server that, hey, I don't support SSL 3.0, which you might be used to. I support SSL 2.0. Can we use that? And the server would say, yeah, let's use that. So this is something called as negotiation of the SSL version. So what does that mean? That means that basically, even if you were supporting SSL 3.0, this was not giving you any benefit because the attacker would actually want to use the deprecated version, SSL 2.0, and then end up attacking the server. So there was no actual real benefit that companies were having by using the newer versions of SSL. But let's say you started using the latest version, SSL 3.0, and you said no. In the negotiation, you said, no, I want to use SSL 3.0. And the server and client had to use SSL 3.0. But even then, the attacker could come in. Because even with SSL 3.0, it wasn't secure enough. It could still be easily broken with something called as the poodle attack. P stands for padding. So you break down cipher blocks. The last block contained something called as padding. And SSL 3.0 didn't validate this padding strictly enough. This is why SSL was actually deprecated and we shifted to TLS. But this is only one part of the equation. When we look at TLS and SSL handshakes in the upcoming videos, we'll understand more of why we shifted from SSL to TLS. Now, there are some questions to be answered up until now, which is, how does the encryption actually work? How does the key exchange between the server and the client actually work. And I mentioned about the handshake, which is we learned about the TCP handshake, Cincinnati ACK, but I mentioned that in SSL and TLS, the handshake works very differently. So how does that work? So there are some questions that we need to answer. And for this, we need to understand encryption, what encryption is. Now, the problem is that a lot of people confuse encoding, serialization, checksum, hashing, and encryption. They think that they all mean the same thing. Okay, and they're heavily confused. Even if you don't think that these all 5 mean the same thing, you might think that encoding and serialization is the same, and checksum and hashing is the same, or hashing and encryption is the same, but they're all 5 different things. So that's what we'll be breaking down in the next videos, right? And then once we've understood what encryption is, we'll understand everything about key exchange and handshake. So for us to understand encryption, we'll understand encryption by understanding all of these things so that it becomes very clear to us.